6th graders done. So, but we have to manually go into every student and take them off. I mean, we have to move every single kid. It takes a long time. Yes, speds included, yeah.
So this could potentially change our route.
No.
It shouldn't change it much, but it might change it just a smidge,
what I'm
because you
saying.
should be pretty much running the same route within a couple blocks of it every day.
It's going to have a few
Little changes.
So if you got a sub driver, it's going to push them over.
Right, but that's why we need to do the new maps, just to combine the new routes. Now, your high schoolers take their tests the 23rd, the 24th. That's why your high schoolers aren't coming back until Thursday, the 25th. So starting the 25th, all of your high school is going to start riding every single day, Monday through Friday. Okay, so by Thursday, you're going to have every student on your bus that's going to ride your bus. So on Thursday, you should know what your worst case scenario is going to look like.
Hey, Jeff.
And it should not be any worse than if you just combine what you have right now.
My parent was showing me that they were showing that we were gonna do transportation like at 11:45 for the kids. They're taking tests to take them home. I didn't know.
Yes, were you not here for the first
Oh,
part?
I wasn't here, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, yeah. Yeah, they are. May South only.
Okay.
We'll be transporting those, so if you're interested in driving, you can let me know on that.
So there's no Wednesday. There's only gonna be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday,
When
Friday.
we go full-time?
Yeah.
No, we'll be 5 days a week.
Okay.
All day, every day, just like our
I just wanna
elementary.
make sure.
So it'll be full tier 1s, full tier 2s, 5 days a week.
Early hours.
Yeah, Wednesday early outs, yay. So that'll all start next week.
Still early
Yes.
release on.
Do we still
Yes.
check our fluids at?
Yes, you will. Yeah, we still need to check fluids. Okay? You don't have to do it Wednesday morning. You can do it whenever you want. I just need to have one every week. Okay? Route books. We've slacked off a little bit this year. I pulled a couple. So Tracy and Kelly are the only 2 full-time regular route drivers we have doing subs right now, right? Because the rest are normal subs. Okay. Bless their hearts. I should have sicked them on these drivers. When we jump in a route, in a bus, so we're driving the routes, and they can't read your route books, you know they're not good. So we have got to start getting better with our route books. So we need to make sure that every single month even if you don't have any changes, just say, hey, I didn't have anything change this month, can you just sign off on that? We'll do that. There's the wire basket in the break room. Throw them in that basket. We'll pull them for you, we'll check them, and then we'll put them back in your box. Super easy, just throw it in there, we'll take care of everything. I think we're gonna have our trainers help us go through those, but we need to make sure these are done by the 15th of every month. So by the day we get paid, that first paycheck, just throw it in that box and just let us run through and make sure everything's okay. If there's no changes, that's even better, but for those that have changes, we need to make sure they're getting in the books, because we are missing so many kids when somebody that doesn't know your route gets out there, we don't know. So, yeah.
I have a question, I don't know if you're gonna cover, are we still wanting siblings to sit together, because we're gonna have to redo our name tags?
No, you don't have to. Technically, starting next week, you can assign your seats however you want to.
Yes.
Siblings don't have to sit together. You don't have to have just 2 to a seat. You can go back to 3. I want to try and keep the routes light enough we don't have to go back to 3, but we'll have, I don't have a magic pool where I can just hire 50 more drivers because we got all these kids coming back. But that's our goal, is to try and keep your loads back down where they're manageable. I think they've been, would you agree the 2 to a seat's been a much better deal than what they were at 3? A lot better for discipline.
I was just gonna say, if you're a new driver and you need help with your maps on how to put the maps together and stuff like that, then just get with Crystal or I, and we can help you with that.
Yeah.
So.
Any questions here? Okay. It is in the handbook that if you don't maintain your maps, you don't get activity trips. So next year, the board's coming down on us harder because of the whole COVID thing. You guys all know how they've been with this. It'll be going in next month or next year's handbook that if these aren't done on a regular basis, you'll start getting reprimands for them on a monthly basis every time they're not done. And after so many reprimands, that it is qualifications for termination. So, and I don't want to go there. So it's just easy, throw it in the box. Oh, and you'll lose your perfect attendance, yeah. So it'll end up costing you if we don't do it. So we just really need to make sure that it's required by law. So we just need to step it up and and get it done. If you need help, like I said, like Tracy said, just let one of us know. Okay, I'm not gonna point fingers to anybody in particular. What's the problem with this picture?
There's no inside booth.
This is the inside of a bus. We were gonna build a snowman right here.
You should have.
Should have, totally should have. You know where the clamp for that door was?
On the
mirror. On the mirror. It did no good to keep all of that snow out of that bus. And the worst part of this, you know what's right here? That brand new transporting system they were getting ready to roll out with. Yep, it's buried in snow. You gotta make sure, even when we don't have bad weather, if we're gonna be gone for any length of time over the weekend, spring break's coming up, clamp those doors shut. Snow's not the only thing that gets into the buses.
Especially if you're parked on the north side.
Yeah, it just blows right in.
Which is why, yeah,
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Cotton.
I mean, I know we don't have raccoons, but I mean, you still need to do it. I mean, I know we had at the old shop, we used to have to do that because we had the raccoons. So-
I've got into more than one bus and it's been full of bird poop.
Yeah.
So it's not just, yeah.
I've seen a couple of buses had that badge reader hanging by the wire.
Yeah.
This thing?
Yeah.
Well, let us know because we'll fix that.
The only other thing too, though, is when mechanics come and you have it locked, it'd be nice if they could have through when they're done.
Mechanics hear that? They say if you
Clamp
take
it
their
back
bus
when you
and they
take
have
it
it
off.
clamped, could you please re-clamp it for them?
Or close the door at least, because there's been times I've walked down and the doors are wide open on a bus and the mechanic just parked them.
that was
Yeah.
horrible. Look at that truck.
So, this isn't our bus. I got this off of the internet. Here they go off their driving spot. So the reason I put this one in there, first of all, is to make sure, I want to say you guys should all be here early enough to help clean your buses, get them started, get them warmed up, but I gotta say a huge kudos to our mechanics.
Yes.
I know that's a lot of buses and a lot of steps at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's only 4 degrees outside. So huge thank you to you guys for helping us start buses. We had a lot of drivers and paras and stuff helping too. So, and not just buses, vans and everything. So they didn't look like that when you guys came in on Wednesday or Thursday for most of you. All right, we're getting ready to get into the transport side. I've heard some drivers come in and say, I don't want you guys to be able to track me. I'm not sure where you're going in the bus that you don't want us to track you, but you're not allowed probably to be there if you're worried about it. And if you're worried about that, I hate to tell you, we've already been able to be tracking you. The cameras that you have in your bus, they're GPS. I can pull up your route and it shows me exactly where you're at. I can see how fast you're going. I can see who's on your bus. I can see all of that. And there's nothing for you to hide. We're not spying on you. We're not sitting in our offices taking notes. Oh my God, did you see they were over a mile an hour? We're not in there nitpicking things. Yes, Isaac.
I'd like to say that I have heard some people are watching us while we're working on the buses.
That was probably Chris.
They listen to your conversation.
Yeah. I just want you guys to realize that while we have the ability to look in on you guys at any point in time, I can see where you're going, I can see how fast, I can see whatever I need to see on your bus. This is the one you need to be more concerned about. And I have no control over what your families do. This is just one of many, many apps that are out there. It's Life 360. I have it on my kids' phone. It's not because I'm a helicopter mom. We live in Wichita, Kansas. I want to know where my kids are.
Right.
My kids have. This tells your parents almost as much as I know from being able to actually look into your bus, other than being able to see video. They can see where their kid's at, exactly where they're at, how fast you're driving. I mean, it tells them everything. It tells them everything. And you wouldn't believe all the screenshots that I get. You know your driver driving down 119th at 62 mile an hour and sends me a screenshot. Okay, thanks.
Does it show the speed limit of each street?
This?
Yes.
360?
I probably don't.
I don't think it does.
It's
I don't think it does.
So you're familiar with 190.
How fast you're going, but it
Right.
doesn't know exactly.
Sometimes though, you just
Right.
get cruising and
Right.
you look.
It
and
wouldn't
oh,
tell you
I'm
that
going too fast.
119th
You
is
know?
55.
Well,
and
if you
you're
drive
doing
the bus
56.
like me.
Yeah,
some
but it'll
buses
tell me you're
are
doing
not gonna
56.
go faster.
And it can show me in real life where you're at. So, I
Okay.
mean, they can figure it out, but yeah, I don't think it tells you what the limits are. So just understand that while yes, we can see what you're doing, This is way scarier. The
Yeah.
parents can see what you're doing. And when these come across my desk and they are legitimate, you're driving 10, 15 mile an hour over the speed limit, even 5 or 6, you guys can get tickets for that. Then it comes in, especially if you're driving, okay, if you're speeding, I'm not gonna put a number on it. You guys all understand that that's reason for termination, right? Speeding in a school bus, especially with students on it, or in a van, look, we have every right to let you go for that. You're not supposed to speed, let alone with kids on the bus. Did you know that if you're in an accident and you get caught speeding, they can prove that you were speeding, they can actually sue you for child endangerment. That's huge. You'll never work in a school district again, ever, with kids ever again. So just be aware that we're not out there hovering over you and trying to make your life hell, heck, because we're not. It's there for your protection as much as it is for the kids, okay? And then, I think, it's Chris's turn.
Oh, yes.
I was like ready to myself.
Oh, the map's on the next, but I don't know where you're at.
All right, transport, they're finally ready to roll out. We started out with IDs. We were going to do it over a 2-week time frame, and just with snow and COVID and all that. After we're done with the meeting, they're up here, grab them. They're numerical. This is just for big buses. That end has got the low numbers. Towards me is the high numbers. So just grab your set of IDs. Those are printed off of the AM routes. Some of our students do ride 2 buses because they go like daycare or something in the afternoon. So they may not get one from you in the morning or the afternoon if you give them out because they're on a different bus. Over a week's time frame, you should be able to give everybody out. We also printed these 2.5, 3 months ago because we were going to roll it out. We've been waiting on emails and then all the other things that were going on. It got delayed. So we've had several students move buses. So you may have somebody that was on your bus at one point and is now on another bus. If you know it and you see the ID, bring it in and we'll get it to the right person. New students, if we've got anybody new to the district, we will be printing them off. Write their name down and then bring it in and we will make an ID for them. We do that here in the office. They're pretty quick. What you're doing, once you give them out, once everybody's got theirs, when you first hand it out, have them swipe on. Wherever you are, if you do it in the afternoon while you're waiting to go to the next school, whatever, have them scan. That way that basically activates it. When they get off the bus or on the bus, regardless of where they at, they scan on and off. At the end of your route, so if you're at school in the morning, once you're done, that last kid gets off the bus, you hit on your tablet, all clear. And that makes sure everybody's unloaded. And it shows your stop point to the computer system because it's in a learn mode. It's learning your routes over a couple weeks is what we're going to do. But it'll learn, it'll take averages of pickup, drop off times and locations, all that stuff. When you're done with your route for the day, when that last kid gets off in the afternoon, hit that all clear button. That shows that's your last stop and that ends the route. That way the computer can put all that information together. Do we have a question about that?
Are they already set? All we gotta do is scan the badge? We don't have to do nothing on
Yeah,
that?
the badges are all programmed, they just gotta scan in.
Is there anything we have to do on the terminal first, before the first kid?
While it's in the learn mode, there's nothing, it'll just, what it looks like now.
So it's currently in the learn mode right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody's is in the learn mode, even though
Okay.
they're not active, if you're not scanned on, it's not gonna do that until it starts getting scans. Once we've gone for a couple weeks in learn mode, we'll tell you before we turn it off. As you're coming up to the stop, it'll show you who's out, whose stop that is on the picture, or on the tablet, it'll have a picture. If they don't have their card, you just tap it, and that manually loads, and it shows a manual load so we can because they forget that ID or something. It's okay. They do it over time. Right now we're not charging for replacements, so just let us know and we'll make them a new badge. Next year we will charge. So it's just because all the stuff going on, that's just kind of how we did it for this year. There is a pre-trip selection on there. You guys can use it, you still have to do the paperwork right now. The biggest reason is we've got to be able to print off a hard copy if the state troopers want a copy. At some point, once we figure that part out and they've got it up and running right, we'll be able to do it just on the computer, and the only time you'd have to do anything paper-wise if you're doing a write-up, but that will be probably more next year. That's pretty much it. Any questions on transporting?
Okay, so you, also, because I'm already got the badges.
Me too.
So if you said the other day, if it beeps twice, put them on the bus and take it off. So just to make sure that it only beeps once, right?
Yeah, it's only supposed to be once.
Yeah, it'll
Well, I
be-
know, but
If it
the
beeps
very
twice,
first time, they weren't.
And some of them, they get too close and they don't get it away quick enough, it might be twice, it just scans them on the bus twice. We had one where it went through 6 times, it happens.
So if they don't have their badge, like, I've got kids right now that are,
Forget.
oh, I left it at home, it's no big deal. And they get on the bus.
While we're in the learn mode, there's really nothing we can do about it. However, that is something that's required for the busing.